I was struck with cancer in California. I was on fire. And I was I'm a street. I didn't know about writing book. I love God so much that I can do anything. So when I was on fire, going to the street in Hollywood, I was called to Hollywood, not here. Me and my wife lived in Hollywood for 11 years. So when God called me, when I had an encounter with Jesus, I said, what do you want to do for you? He said, go to the street. I was on the street. Every day, my wife is a nurse, paying the bills, but I was on the street every day. So what am I trying to say? From nowhere, I was struck with cancer. Cancer of the lungs. My wife said, what's happening? You're working for God, you're on fire for God. Why on it? Went to the doctor, they tested, they said you have cancer of the lungs. That's where the battle started. The battle was fierce. That's why I said my wife is one of the most influential people on earth. People who know how to pray. Amen. And they release the omnipotence of God into situation. Prayer is power. So what am I trying to say? This book was inspired by the Holy Spirit. Yes, Lisa is full of the Holy Ghost. She cried all day. Yes. She cried. She didn't take even no money at all. She said, God inspired me to. For us to meet Lisa, it was a divine connection. With the husband, it was a divine connection. So in 2012, when that sickness came, and before this sickness came, my wife, 2 years to the when I was diagnosed with cancer, the nurse spoke to my wife. All deeply. She woke up in the morning and said, you know what the Lord told me? That He's looking for people who can stand on the word of God. I said, what kind of after 2 years, 2 years before, I was struck with cancer. I told my wife, that was the word my wife stood up. Boom! I said, God is looking for people who will. Most Christians they don't believe the word. People are afraid, So that's why this book is so. God wanted it. I could have written it in California, but when I came to this place, the Lord said, go to Moravian Falls. You know where Moravian Falls is? When I went to Moravian, I spent some few days. When I came back, God brought me to this. So that's promise that I don't have much time, but what I want you to know is that when this happened in 2012, it was a horrible cancer. It's the worst sickness. It's the worst sickness that can happen to any person. Cancer of the lungs. My lungs collapsed. My stomach was like this. I lost weight, everything, everything. At a stage, the doctor said, okay, go home and die. Wow. They said, go home and die. Wow. They even called my wife and said, why you leave this guy to go? They showed him the computer, my lungs. The doctor said, why are you disturbing yourself? Allow this guy to die. My wife said, no. The Lord spoke. The Lord spoke to me that me and my husband has a destiny to fulfill. And the doctors, they were, so many of them, almost 5, 6, they were looking at my wife like, she's mental. So at the stage, they said, go home. Then my wife took me home. I was wearing diapers, my stomach, blood everywhere, but I wasn't eating. Cancer is a demon. So when I went home, my wife stood on the word of God. That's all. Stood on the word of God, praying. Waiting for me to die, But at a stage, the Holy Spirit appeared. The presence of God appeared in my apartment. I started eating. I wasn't eating. From eating, I started gaining weight. From gaining weight, it was a miracle. And this led us to the back of this book. I don't have much time. Because I want to give my wife 1 minute of my time to say something. So what I'm trying to say is that this book is God's book. If you're going through anything, there's some scripture. That scripture my wife, God gave to my wife. They're all here. If you go through anything, take the scriptures. But the word of God is power. God cannot separate himself from his word. So if you're going through something, please, this is God's book. When I didn't publish this book, please, I didn't do it because of money. I did it to change lives. Because God is about to do something. The God we serve is real. It's not about money. If you're writing a book and then you're thinking money, no. It's about God. If you honor God, money will follow. And this book has gone all over the world. And the second book is coming. I'm an evangelist. I'm on the street winning souls. My ministry is worldwide end-time ministry. God told us to move to Charlotte. And you can see miracle God did in our lives. We came to Charlotte with nothing. Then when I came here, I said, God, what do you want to do? He said, go to the street. You have your tracks. From that tracks, God connected me to the whole Charlotte. Bless me and my wife so much. Give my wife the best job. It's a miracle. It's a testimony.
Stay there, Prince. Stay right here. Come on up, Sister Mary.
Yeah.
Give my hand, please. Because I do want you to have a moment to address the audience. And if there's anyone that has a question for our Prince or his wife, Sister Mary, please feel free to ask that now. Go ahead, share what you want to share.
Wow, I know we don't have a lot of time, but thank you everybody for listening. I don't want to use this opportunity to thank Lisa also for what she has done in our life, because we're supposed to write this book in Los Angeles, but there wasn't any time. We were not encouraged, or we didn't have the time. I don't know what it is. There's something somehow we didn't work out. So we came here, we met her, and she said, you can do it. I thought it cost a lot of money. She said, forget it, you can do it. So she encouraged us. But because of time, I just want to say a word to people. If you don't believe God, you see, I cry all the time when I talk about it. I don't need to.
Squeeze your butt. That's what they keep telling me. They keep telling me that.
It's still very emotional. When you understand what God has done, the power in the Word of God. And that's why when some Christians play around with God and the Word, I don't understand. Because we have the truth. We have the power as Christians. Is in the Word of God. So whatever you need is in the Word. Just believe the Word. No matter the situation, stand on the Word. We have the God that is more than able to do anything abundantly above everything that you can ever think.
We're over time for them, but I do want to yield. Is there anyone that had a particular burning question that you want to ask them now? When we're done here today, they'll be around.
You'll be able to meet with all of the authors. Yes.
But, yes, Sister
Tara.
Tara, excuse me.
My brother was just recently diagnosed with cancer, and it's ripping our family apart. It took them a couple of months to figure out what was going on with him, but it's a blood cancer. So his white cells and blood cells are at war to destroy his body. God is changing him, because this was a young man that you wouldn't hear him speak of the word of God. But I know he's doing something great in my brother, and I need that book for him.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo. And when you get the book, turn to page 197 and make a copy of it.
Okay.
And put it on every wall in your house.
Yes.
And tell him to put that on every wall of his house. That's all the scriptures that God gave to the scriptures. I know them by heart.
Let's give them a hand, please. Now, no one can follow that powerful story, okay? But we're going to bring up another author anyway. I want to bring up Teresa Jones. Now, the reason why I want to bring up Teresa Jones, because I know you can hang with Prince, you can help our friends, that's why. Teresa has more than one book, and I'm going to ask her to feature just one of her. I want you to introduce all of your books, but I want you to feature just one of them. And she's another one, and every time I hear Prince and Mary talk, and I know about Teresa, this connection happened because of you guys. So, and she has blessed our world in a lot of ways. Teresa is our family now. She's our family. Okay, so anything that she's doing, we want to support. Anything we're doing, she supports. So we appreciate people like that in our life. Glue people that keep you together, you know. So I consider her my sister now. But and I know she's about to share something with you with a lot of conviction. Before I bring Teresa up, Sister Melissa has come in and brought some goodies. Now, we're not going to take the break now. After Teresa talks, she brought some goodies. Do you want to tell what it is real quick?
I can wait.
Okay, we'll wait, okay? But there's some goodies, and it looks like enough for everyone to get half of one. Everyone should get one, okay? And this is our Malika Lisa and her beautiful family. Do we need more? I can bring more chairs in, okay?
I'll tell the ladies on the patio.
You sure? They can bring chairs in, but they want to hang and watch the authors.
No.
Okay, fine. All right, these are a bunch of dusty folks in here. I get it. But I want to help you. Please help me bring forward my friend Teresa Jones.
Teresa Jones.
Hello, everyone. I'm just so excited to be here today and to share about my babies. And God has blessed me. My goal is to write 40 books. Maybe more than that, but that's my first goal. Okay, and the Lord blessed me last year to self-publish all 3 of these books, and I'm writing my 4th. That last year in April, after I published this book, Transitioning to a Healthier Lifestyle of Eating, 2 days afterwards, I had a very bad accident, and I was down for 6 months. And I already had this book to be published on Saturday, but I had the accident on Friday and a really bad concussion, so I wasn't able to write until around September, the end of September, more or less, beginning of August last year. But I pressed, and I continue to stand and trust God.
Amen.
And in 1 month, this book was produced. Under the influence. So I'm just going to share about these 2 first before our teacher. And transitioning to a healthier lifestyle of eating, where my coaching business, Today's Eating Coach, was birthed. Transitioning to a healthier lifestyle of eating is about the reality of, again, of serving God. I am a deliverance minister. I cast out devils and I love it.
Amen.
I like it.
The Lord said, if I with the finger of God cast out devils, then the kingdom is amongst you. So this truth came forth out of that anointing. I used to pray, God help me to touch lives continuously in the marketplace. How can I bring the casting out of devils into the office? Even though I knew how to do it in a spiritual way, but in a tangible way as well, where it would not only be effective, for people's well-being spiritually, but also would be a means of income and a betterment that where people could actually see the kingdom of God manifested in their lives. Because everywhere I went, I was a change agent. No matter where I went, lives were being transformed in the marketplace.
That's right.
And I needed to have some more oomph. You know what I mean? I want some more power.
Yes.
When you have a little bit, you want a little bit more, and more. And I'm just a God chaser as well. So that's been my life. God, what is it that you would have me to do to serve you? So this book was birthed. So transitioning to a healthier lifestyle of eating helps people to understand what is in the plate. There is an anointing in food, and it is there to equip our bodies to live healthy, to empower the immune system to do the work to fight off any type of disease that we encounter in life. We just need to know what needs to go in the plate and how it needs to go in there and eat it.
That's right. And eat it.
So we need to understand that. So here you find the tips, you find ideas that empower you to do that. Here's some of my personal journey, because my journey primarily began around 98 when I was twice my size. I'd always been a size 7 and I ended up being a 14. And when I realized I couldn't run across the parking lot, that began my journey, because I always had to run. You never know when you need your feet. Feet don't fail you.
Feet don't fail now.
Don't fail now. So we needed that, And so I needed that. So that began my journey. And from different phases and experience, my goal was to be a size 10. I got down to a size 4. That ended up being my body's natural weight, which I again learned about that reality, natural weight. But God has blessed me to be 55 years old, and I take no medicine
I don't use anything to assist the maintenance of my weight.
Amen.
And the Lord has given me this is a must for us all. And I'm, again, being a deliverance minister, but I'm holistic. It's about every place, the mind, body, and the spirit. Amen. So this is the spiritual component. Amen. The Lord says if you ask, you will receive. So being under the influence on the day of Pentecost, people experience a new level of the power of God. And my coming into that reality under the influence of the Spirit of God helped me to encounter different levels of access to the power of God that transformed my life. So since I continuously experienced that transformation, it empowered me to do things that I had never done before. I was called to the ministry internationally, and I left the country in 1990 as a missionary resident, lived in places where there was no running water, there was no lights, places were so rugged, it was just incredible. But in those places, you know, I preached the gospel, I raised up churches, empowered people, saw lives change, saw people getting, you know, becoming business owners themselves and lives being absolutely transformed. So that is what I experienced through being under the influence of my own life as well. It was my time on this.
Yes, it's like first of all, let's give Teresa a hand, please. I love hearing Teresa's story, you know. I hadn't heard her say the part about when she realized she couldn't run across the parking lot anymore. You knew it was time to make a change, but I appreciate that. At the end of this, the authors have their books displayed.
For sale.
And for sale. And you'll have a chance to interview the author. But is there anyone that has a particular burning question that you want to ask Teresa now? We'll go ahead and do that. Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? But thank you, Teresa, very much.
I have a seat over here.
There's a seat up front.
And a seat over here.
You have one right here, you have one right here.
Now,
In the front.
where is, I don't see Monique, so we'll wait. Okay. Now, the next speaker I'm going to bring up, my wife, when she works with an author, my wife is a self-publishing coach. Sometimes people choose to publish through her company, Empowerment Publishing. Sometimes people choose to take the counsel and publish on their own. But there's one person in this room, I'm so happy that she's here, that when my wife met her, every time my wife talked to this woman, and they have their meetings and their interviews, my wife would come back to me after having met with this woman flying. You know, because it encouraged her every time. This person is a natural encourager. Every time I've talked to her, I felt better because of the conversation as well. She blessed us at our Toastmasters meeting to talk about her book. But this is one of these people who embodies what they wrote about everywhere they go. She's one of these people that just talk to her just for a few minutes and you like her a lot. I want you to help me welcome to the lectern, Miss Dawn Petalino.
See, you already like me. I don't have to say anything. Hey, I like that intro. You take you on dates with me. I am Dawn Petalino, and I'm a transformational coach, and I help women going through transitions, and I'm a healer. And it's not something that when I was 8 years old, I said, this is what I'm going to be when I grow up. This book came out, of course, years of experience. Let me just back up. When I grew up raised in an alcoholic home, generations of alcoholism. I grew up a very independent child. I was a go-getter. I was an overachiever, a goal setter, your typical type A Aries person. And that really served me for a while because by the time I was 28, I was married to a man I loved. I lived in a beautiful home on 2.5 acres. We had friends and family close by. I was fit. I was teaching at my old elementary school that I went up to, that I grew up in, so it was like my dream job. I made good money. I had everything. And I thought I had this picture. So from the outside, I looked very successful. From the inside, it was a very different story. I was anxious all the time. I was depressed. I had an eating disorder. I isolated from other people. I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. And I continued on this way. My life was about control. My life was about planning. My life was about making sure I didn't lose anything I had and making sure I got what I wanted. And for me, it wasn't about living. Life for me was about protecting. I have to protect the space I have. And during that time, there would be these quiet moments that would catch me off guard, and I would hear this voice inside of me say, "Is this all there is?" And I didn't want to hear that voice because I had the picture. I had everything that life said, if you have this, you will be happy. And I didn't want to give up the picture because I would be safe. If I got this picture, I'm safe. But then life only gives you so much time to make the decision yourself before God says, I'll make that decision for you. So in 2005, a miracle happened. My marriage started to fall apart, which was one of my biggest fears. And during that time, it didn't seem like a miracle, but it changed my life, and it changed the way I lived my life. Because I was anxious, I was always overwhelmed. I couldn't relax. My mind would tell me everything all the time. This is what I need to do. This is what you should be doing. I would get up and I would do it. And I just couldn't let go. I was caught in my mind all the time. So I was living mind. I wasn't living life. And in 2005, when things started to fall apart, a year later, my husband got relocated down to South Carolina for his job. So I left my teaching position and I moved down to South Carolina to be with him. And during that time, we lived in a trailer that a friend of ours, we rented it out in this trailer park. And I would get up at 4:30 in the morning and I would go for a run and I'd get ready for work. And then I'd go to work and I'd come home at 7:12 at night when the janitor left. And I'd come home to this marriage I had no idea how to be in anymore. And then I would stay up till 11:30 at night and work some more. And I lived like this, and I cried every day. And at the end of that year, I said, I can't do this anymore. And that voice got so loud, it told me I have to leave my marriage and I have to leave my job. And I did. And for the first time ever, I didn't have a plan. I had no plan. And I wanted to see, is it true? Could I trust God? Could I trust that life would have a plan for me if I didn't have one for myself?
Come on.
And what I found out was absolutely yes.
Yes.
Because my job was not to plan my life. My job was to listen to the plan.
Woo!
So in 2007, I got a message in my meditation, open up a tutoring company. I had no idea how to open up a business, but I knew how to trust and I knew how to listen by this time and I knew how to follow. And within 3 months, I had a full practice. And every time I got scared, I got a phone call from somebody whose their name or their child's name was Grace, Faith, or Hope. And that practice continues today for 10 years.
Yes.
I've never advertised. I have no website. In 2000, but then I had a crash in 2009 where I found myself in a relationship and in a teaching position at this one school. I was doing part-time, and I was writing in a journal, and I was writing about how, just all these feelings I was going through, and I looked at it and it stopped me cold because what I realized is that journal entry could have been written 5 years ago. The circumstances were kinder, but the feelings and the emotions I was going through were the same. And I said, well, wait a minute, I'm not doing something right. Something else is, God was like, there's something else you got to do here. And I had to learn how to face emotions. And I learned how to I ran from emotions. I thought I was feeling emotions, but I wasn't. I was thinking about emotions. And what I learned was how to be with an emotion in a way where I am there with my higher self, and it's a completely different experience, and the emotion becomes healed. So then I went through that. In 2011, I got the message to become a transformational coach. I didn't know how to do that either. And within 6 months, I was teaching some classes, had some clients. I appeared on a local television show twice, had a professional website done for free. I didn't know, but and so people say, well, that's great. What's your business plan? And that frightens me because I'm like, I don't have a business plan. My meditation chair is my business plan.
Yes.
I follow my nose and see where it goes, and that's what I do. So this whole book came about, and it came about in a month, and it came about, and I thank Lisa for helping me just push together these final little pieces and actually birthing it. That it came between the time my father passed away and my sister got married, and there was this whoosh, and of course it needed editing after that whoosh, but it all came out in these 3 awarenesses: the awareness of the thought, how we can get out of our own head; the awareness of the emotion, how we can transform emotions and heal these old wounds that keep us stuck in reactions; and then the awareness of the heart, because God's going to talk through my heart, He's going to talk through your heart, and I can't tell you what that is.
Stay there, Don. Give us all the hands. What we noticed, though, of the 3 authors that have presented so far, these are real people. Real people going through some real stuff.
Yep.
Thank you for sharing your story. Again, at the end, the authors will have books to offer, they have books to sell, and they will stay and answer any questions. But if there's one question now that someone particularly wants to ask Dawn, we'll go ahead and yield that time now. Does anybody have anything they want to bring up to her now? If not, let's give her another hand. All right. Now we're going to take a minute now, and come on up here, Monique. And so I think I need to bring I think I need to bring a few more chairs in the room, and we're going to do that now. This is Monique Alicia. Okay. Alisa. Another one of my sisters now. I've gained another sister. No one asked her to bring treats and desserts here for us, but she did. Please tell us what you brought.
Gladly. Hello, everybody. Brian's egg-free. So I bought some egg-free cupcakes. I have some that are strawberry with cream cheese, some that are chocolate with marshmallow, and it's a little surprise under the marshmallow.
Uh-oh.
And then there's some that's kind of like a banana pudding flavor, and it has pecans on top.
Which one?
And then the other one, I'm trying to see. Oh, the other one is a chocolate cupcake, and it has the candy whoppers on top with some Nutella. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so we're going to take a very short break. Because me and Brother Abdul are going to bring in a few more chairs and maybe rearrange the room a little bit differently. So we're going to take 6 minutes. 6 minutes. 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh. All right, so here we go. We're talking about 6 minutes now. Go ahead. Go ahead. 6 minutes. I want everybody to get it.
My week has been so crazy. My daughter graduated.
Yeah.
Allowed me to step away. Allowed me to
Try to get to it? Okay, good. Very chocolate. Yeah. I got this for smooth, so she'll wait. You're fine. It's all love. All love.
In my quiet place.
Yes, all love. Amen. She's my mini-me. She's just bigger than me.
And this is my daughter, Santiago.
Yes, that's a good thing.
This is Mrs.
I got Simone to come to meet you, and she actually is, well, I'll let her tell me about it. She's here. When she gets finished talking to Dawn, I'll let her.
About one more minute, y'all. Stop blocking all the food, y'all. What you doing? I'm trying to eat. I know I'm good, right? I'm good. That looks so good. I'm gonna eat this one. That's melting off the plate already.
It's a toasted marshmallow.
Did you make these?
Yes. I have one.
Are you big?
Oh, I forgot this.
I had brownies yesterday, and I'm like, I'm trying to do better. I'm fitness, I'm trying to do better. But I had brownies yesterday. This also.
My son does it.
Let's take our seats. Let's get in. Pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin. I came to win. That on me. That's it. I knew I got my amen corner over here. I'm good. Let's come on. Let's get it together. Let's get it together. That's a big bang.
Yes. Wide open.
All right, everybody ready?
Yes.
When you ready, say yes.
Yes.
Thank you. The first three speakers really inspired me.
Yes.
You know, and each one of them, I've heard some of their story before, but I learned something more. Each one of their stories, they all inspired me, and I thank the first three speakers. After that powerful session in the beginning, it's going to be challenging to find another speaker to follow that. And the person that came to my mind that can follow that well is a friend of mine, Darlene. And we're going to bring Darlene up here, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about Darlene. We've known Darlene for, I don't know, maybe 6 months or so, I guess. Maybe even a little bit less than that. And we watched her go from trying to make herself small in her chair, not speaking at all, to being the most ebullient person in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
She has a story to tell. She went through some things. She has a ministry that's unlike anyone else's ministry. Unlike anyone else's ministry. She's a fun person. She's another one of the people that whatever she's doing, my wife and I will support. Because she's demonstrated that she supports anything that we're doing. That's a friend. That's a friend. Okay? So I don't want to steal too much of her thunder, because I think her business and her life's calling, I never heard anyone called to this arena that she's going to talk about. She's the only one I know that operates in this particular arena. And I'm not going to steal it from her. I'm going to let her tell you what her arena is that she operates from. But I will ask you to help me bring forth to the lectern my friend, Darlene Fleming.
I'm my own cheerleader. So I'm going to cheer me on. Because I am unbreakable. So you can think about the craziest thing that you may have done in a relationship. The craziest, the thing that you would never tell someone. That thing you said, I'm going to take that to my grave. Right? We all been there. Let me tell you my crazy. So my crazy is that I waited 15 years for an incarcerated man. Federal prison, state to state, 5, 6, I can't even count anymore how many it was. But I was at each and every one of them. I supported him. I held him down as we would stay in the hood. I held him down. And 2008, he came home and said, I don't want to do this no more. He said, he chose him. He chose him. But I'm still standing.
Yes!
I'm unbreakable.
That's right.
I'm reaching back out because he didn't reach out for me. He didn't come for me. Right? He didn't even think about the loyalty. Whether you decided you had to choose you and do what you had to do for you, you still never reached back and said, are you okay, D? Are you okay? You knew you broke my heart. You know you broke my heart. That's a given. Because you're not here. So my ministry, I found me in that. I did. I found who I am and whose I am. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. I value me so much now that there's nothing that can come up against me.
Come on.
Now I have some good days, bad days, because that's life. Life is on us, right? But I'm unbreakable. There may be shattered pieces that I put back together. No. God put back together.
Yeah.
God put back together. And there's going to be those cracks. You understand what I'm saying? But we can still put the pieces back together. We can still get up and rise. So you have two choices. You're going to stay in that situation and die from it. And even if you don't physically die, you're just existing. Or you're going to rise from that. You're going to rise from yesterday's mess and last week's mess and last year's mess. Yeah. You still stand and have breath in your body. You have an opportunity to rise up out of that. Yeah. You have to choose life or death. It was life or death for me. So I'm here to help those women that have gone through that brokenness, that rejection of waiting on an incarcerated man. Yes, we are our brother's keepers, our sister's keepers, and yes, we decide to do these things. I made those choices. I did. Shame on you, you used me. Shame on you, you broke my heart. Okay? I did it out of love. So I'm here to reach back to those women. I'm not telling you not to support and not be there for. That's not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, do you. Be you. Go back to school. Build your business. Because had I done that, I don't think I would have been as broken. But that's okay because I'm walking in my purpose now.
Yeah!
put the diamond on the sleeve because the diamond, right? The diamond.
Shout out to Bria's Bling.
So that's my whole, that's my brand. This is me. We are unbreakable, we're diamonds.
Yes.
We are worth more than what? Rubies, anything.
Yeah.
Ooh, y'all got me over here.
Again, her ministry, I've never heard anyone who found their ministry in helping women who are supporting someone that's incarcerated. And that's hers. I really believe when God gives you something, it's yours, but if you don't do something with the thing He gave you, then there are people that anybody that Darlene gives a good word to right now, if she doesn't do it, they would never be helped. No one else can do it. God gave her that ministry, so there's no one that can serve the people that she can serve. That's why she's here to do it. And I mean, did I tell you she's going to bring it? Does anyone have a burning question for her? And again, we'll stay and talk. But if anybody has one that you want to ask her while she's before us this time, please ask it now. All right, wait to the end. Thank you very much. Sister, come on up. Because we haven't met before, but I know you're an author. I know, and because you're an author, you brought your books, you have them on display, you came here and you set up, and you didn't know who was all going to be here, you didn't know me, so, but you did some stuff. You've seen me around, but I know some stuff about you, okay, because it takes courage to complete a book. It takes some dedication to complete a book. And I want to hear your story. So I want to give you the time that you need to introduce yourself properly. Tell us the impetus. What brought you to that story? Tell us why you decided to write it in the first place, and then also why did you complete it? Because it's easy to start a book, amen? Hard to finish it. So please, sister, introduce yourself however you choose, okay?
My introduction is going to be this. You can buy me diamonds.
Go ahead.
You can buy me pearls. Take me on a cruise around the world, but just don't hit your girl. You can buy me diamonds. You can buy me pearls. Take me on a cruise around the world, but just don't hit your girl. He said, girl, I love you. I am going to make you my wife. I can't see myself being without you here in my life. Fall to trap, the ship become strong too fast, thinking that this newfound relationship was just destined to last. Charming me, loving me, captivating me with his smile, but not realize as captivity is what he would keep me after my cloud. See, after the honeymoon was over, then jealousy stepped in. No matter how much I secluded myself, I just couldn't win. Claiming that his blood, sweat, and tears is what it took to raise our family, but not realizing that those blood, sweat, and tears will be coming from me. Girl, I'm sorry. I love you. I won't do it again. I didn't mean to be so mean as he took from me more and more each day as he tried to get in between. By the time it was over, my body was used to it inside and out. See, I conditioned myself to the point it was senseless for me to shout. I learned to shout on the inside, screaming, God, please help get me out. I kept hearing this voice saying, girl, you just got to leave. But he kept feeding me with those same old lines, convincing me to believe. Girl, I love you. You are my wife. But if you ever leave me, I will take your life. You can buy me diamonds. You can buy me pearls. Take me on a cruise around the world. But just don't hit your girl. He said, girl, I love you. I am going to make you my wife. I can't see myself being without you here in my life. Thinking about my past, wonder if he'd be the same as the last, but how would I know if I don't give him a chance? Wow, he said he loved me. He didn't have to ask me to be his wife. If it was me, him, and a million men, I'd say yes to him every time. Two of a kind, hearts intertwined, combined to death do us part, rich or poor. Even if I leave this earth before him, I'll still come in his dreams one day some more. He said, girl, I love you. Thank you for being my wife. I said, God, I love you. Thank you for saving my life. You can find that my name is Nicole Wood. like this trapped butterfly inside, filled with so many colors, but not knowing how to get it out. Writing was my journal. Writing was my hobby. Writing poetry was just something that I did when I was feeling pain, when I was hurt, when I was sad. I didn't want to share that. So I did get out that relationship. After I got out that relationship and raising 3 sons of my own, my story didn't end. I was stricken with rheumatoid and then screamed to God, you help get me out of this. Why now? You're crippling me and everything else. So he said to me, hurt one day, I cried out. Because your story didn't begin there, and it's not going to end.
Come on.
It's in the middle of the end. Yes. Because through it all my life, I've been through trials and tribulation. I had more. He healed me. When I say healed me, when the doctor said I wouldn't walk again, he healed me. Then I said, well, God, what is it you wanted me to do? Because he gave me the rheumatoid, because you said, God, you said, Nikki, I got you out of the domestic violence, but what are you doing? I didn't do anything else. I just said, thank you, God, and kept on moving. Jesus. So he had to stricken me, to sit me down, to allow me to share my story.
Come on.
And I call it my story when I look back on my life. 5 books of poetic healing, because it began with the first book, Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places.
All right.
We always search for love. Love is happiness. Love is, and I no holds barred. Love is lust. Love is satisfaction. Love can be all these things that we think it is. Yes. And the second part of the book is All That Baggage You Are Not Alone. It deals with everything, social issues, from abortion, from locked up teen, from abuse, from everything, racism, bullying in schools, from workplace to the church place. It talks about all that baggage, because when we search for love in all the wrong places and we think that we come up with people that are our friends, there's all this other mess that comes in between. The third part talks about the pain, because now we don't search for love, we got all this baggage. Now here we go, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical. That's why I believe that all that physical attributes came onto me, that rheumatoid. It was all the stress, all the pain, all of that. Then before was God's resolution. Why me? Why me? Why not? Because he wanted to sit you down.
That's right.
To tell your story. So he wanted you to see what love truly was. And that's what in the last book, Language of Love. Learning to love God and understanding that he brings you to situation for not just for your healing, but for somebody else's healing. To know that if I brought you through, I can bring anybody through. To know that if you want to call on anybody, it's me. You love to love God first, to love yourself again, to love and be able to love unconditionally anybody else that you can. Because once you love yourself, all that other mess is not going to come. Like, just walk, just keep on walking, and become unbreakable like Jesus.
About 50 seconds.
And on that note, so I did the unthinkable, and I wrote this book. When I said that there's no holds barred, I kept it real, kept it good. Everything. I had to tell the truth. The God said, come up from my mom said, you have to allow to tell people where did you start it from to how you got to love the Lord the way you do.
That's right.
So I dared to be different. Dared to be different. Different to be defined. Defined to be dared. Dared to be deemed. Deemed to be dominated. Dominated to be dynamite. Dynamite to be destructive. Destructive to be divided. Divided to be dogged. Dogged to be downed. Down to be diced. Diced to be dying. Dying to be dead. Dead to be delivered. Delivered to be divine. Divine to be dared. Dared to be different.
Yeah.
Yes. A dream to be dynamic. When we can be different by overcoming the obstacles, staying true to ourselves and others, keeping our faith in God, and believing He will work the rest out.
Yeah.
Nicole Williams. Different, dynamite, dynamic,
and redeemed.
Thank you. And she sings too. That was awesome.
Thank you for having me.
I'll give everybody 6 minutes, you know, and if they're still flowing, we'll give them a little bit longer. That's okay. All right. Is there anyone that have a particular question that you want to ask Sister Nicole? If you do, please do it now. If not, we'll be here afterwards. Her books are. You have books for sale?
Yes.
Awesome. She has books for sale here as well. Give her a hand, please. Thank you. speakers. We can't follow them. We can't follow these authors. We can bring up another one, but we can't follow them. Because these are real people with real stories.
That's right.
She's been through some things.
Right. That's right.
And now she's going to bless somebody else. I know that somebody's going to read your book and be able to make it through another day.
Yes. Yes.
And be blessed. So we want to share that good word. Everyone, if you don't choose the Bible, and I want you to, if you don't choose the Bible, please share the good news of Sister Nicole.
That's
Please
right.
share the news of Pastor O'Cole, Prince O'Coley. Please share the good news of each other. Now, the next one I'm going to bring up is someone I've recently met. And this young lady has written 7 books. Now, it takes something to write 1 book. It takes something else to write 2. Even more to write 3. So it tells you kind of about that person's character. Someone who can start and finish and publish 7 books, they're the best people. They're the best people because they're consistent. They can start something and see it through to fruition. Every time I've seen this speaker, this author, I've seen her with her husband. And what I know about them is not only are they friendly, but they're fun people because they always are laughing. And there's the kind of people that I want to hang out with. Me and my wife can hang out with y'all. Because y'all are our type of people. So I do want you to introduce all of your books, but feature one. Please help me bring forward my new friend, Sister Oticia.
Hello, everyone. As Brian mentioned, I am Oticia Johnson. I am a published author, keynote speaker, publisher, screenwriter, and radio host. I didn't grow up thinking I was going to be any of these things. I actually had a plan when I was a little girl. I wanted to be 2 things. I wanted to be a teacher, or I wanted to be a lawyer. And life happened to me like it happens to most people. I experienced a lot of abuse. I came from a very poor family. I came from broken parents who loved their children the best way that they knew how, but they were broken. And when you don't allow yourself to experience healing, you pass on to your children what you don't deal with. And so my life kind of as a result of dealing with what my parents were unable to deal with. I found myself in a marriage that did not work. It was broken, I was broken, and I found myself, he would go to work, I was at home with the children, and I would be on the floor crying out to God. I was so distraught over the fact that I knew I was going to have to get a divorce. And if you are from the South and you came up in church, you don't get a divorce.
Jesus.
You stay and you wait for God to deliver. And even though I was married to a man who was habitually cheating, I could not see myself ever walking back into church as a divorced person. And I remember saying to God, if you will just show me how to get out, I promise, number 1, I'll never put myself in this situation again. Because God didn't do that, I did. And number 2, I will help any woman that comes to me and asks for help. Thus began the writing of my first book, He Cheated. It's a woman's guide to receiving God's healing after adultery.
Wow.
Because people tell you that time heals all wounds, but that's a lie. If that was true, there'd be no old and bitter people in the nursing home. Time heals nothing. God is the only one that can heal. So when I first got tricked by God into telling my story the first time, because I thought I was going to be talking, I met my current husband, he's an amazing man, I was so excited. And I thought that's what I was going to be talking to. I was talking to a room full of military wives. And I thought that's what I was going to be talking about. And right before God said, no, I want you to talk about what you went through. Wait a minute, what? You want me to say that in front of people? You want me to be vulnerable? I can't be vulnerable in front of people. And God said, yes, you can. This is what you're going to do. And I shared my story, and it was so many of them afterwards bombarding me. And I was a pretty quiet person. I didn't talk to anybody. But now people were asking for my phone number, and they were emailing me, and they wanted to come to my house. And I was like, well, I don't have time for that. I have a husband. I have a family. And so God said, put it in a book. So that when they're not with you, when they're home alone at night with their thoughts, when the bed is cold because they had to get out of that situation, when they're lonely, when they're feeling depressed, when they feel like it was their fault because society teaches women a lot of times that it's your fault that you stepped out, when people are making you feel like you did something wrong, you need something to remind you to think on Philippians 4:8. Think on things that are good and lovely and pure and just. And so God gave me lots of scriptures. It's full of scripture. And so I published this book, and I was pretty confident about that because it's my story. I know my story. Who can tell my story like me? And then God began to deal with me about stepping outside of the box. I'm a business major. I was doing very well working in human resources. I had no reason to do anything else. I loved my job. And the Lord said to me, I want you to trust me. Oh, God, I trust you. I trust you. I've been with you for a long time. We got this. I trust you. And the Lord kept telling me, I'm going to call you off your job. No, not right now. This money is good, right? The check comes twice a month. I know when it's coming. I want to leave my job, God. And he said, I want you to leave your job, but I don't want you to make a living as a preacher. Wait, hold up, because I can preach good. So I'm good at that, right? I'm confident about that. He said, it's not what I want you to do. If the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just, I want you to create a revenue stream so that their funds can come unto you and you can do for the kingdom what I've called you to do. And so for 2 years, I said, oh God, I hear you. I'm not doing that though. I'm scared. Why don't you give me some good Christian characters? You know, some Christian characters that can share the word. Outright fiction, God. But it needs to be holy fiction. And God said, no. Because sinners aren't reading holy Christian books. You're not going to get their money by writing Christian books. And for 2 years, I allowed myself to be tormented about stepping outside of the Christian realm, which I've been doing since I was a teenager, and going into the secular world of writing books. I published my first legal thriller. It was entitled Adequate Counsel. It's an international bestseller. I didn't hire a PR person. I had no branding, no marketing. A little young girl from South Carolina published a book that was a bestseller in India, a bestseller in Canada, a bestseller in the UK, because I did what God told me to do. And in closing, because I do write legal thrillers, how much time do I have?
You have 36 seconds.
Oh, well, in closing, let me tell you this really quick. Has anybody heard the story? I'm talking really fast. Has anybody heard the story about Ronnie Dahl that's been on the news? Okay, Ronnie Dahl, for those of you who said you haven't heard the story, Ronnie Dahl is a businessman who caught his daughter in the middle of what he thought was an assault, and he beat the man to death. And it was been all over the news, and the prosecutor had to decide, were they going to press charges? And there was a lot of, people on one side saying press charges, people on the other side saying not, that they didn't want them to press charges. But this is a rich white man who beat a young black man to death, killed his daughter in the process. You've just been introduced to my latest legal brother, Righteous Defender.
Stay there. Otesia R. Johnson. She's written 7 books. She has 3 of them here today. How many of your books you brought with you?
6.
6 of them. They're set up on the tables. Does anyone have a question now for Otesia? She's going to talk to you after. Let's give her a hand, please. First time I wrote a book was in 1996. And I was a sales manager of a company, and my salespeople were having challenges closing sales. And I had been studying closing, so I wrote a book called 22 Ways Everyone Should Know How to Ask for Money. Okay? 22 Ways, back in 1996. And it didn't start out as a book. It started out as a memo to my salespeople. And it was 4 closes you used before you asked for the money. There was 4 you used when you asked for the money. There was 4 more that you used when you got a little bit of resistance. There was 4 more you used when you got a lot of resistance. And there was 2 more that you used when you were trying to get kicked out. Okay? And then I started teaching that book. That's what I did. Started teaching what was in that. It was really a report that turned into a book, is what it was. And that was in 96. Back in 2014, I was a part of a book project. 17 legal ways to double your profits. 17 legal ways to double your profits. Now, all I did in that book was I wrote one chapter. I wrote chapter 6 on how to sell yourself, is what I did. The reason why I told you those stories, there's a lot of ways to get published. There's a lot of ways for you to take part and become an author, other than completing a book. Otesia's an amazing example of completing 7 books. But my first forays was just writing a report to my guys and becoming a part of a book project. That was what my second foray was. And the cool thing about getting part of book projects, my wife has one going right now, is you get to take advantage of the cachet of all the other authors in the book. That's you. You're just like them. And then some of them are really nationally known. Now you're nationally known too. That book becomes a bestseller. You can say you're a best-selling author. That's something I want you guys that are not yet authors to consider. You can take part in a book project because it's your book too, as much as anyone else's. The next person I want to bring aboard is someone that's coming to my wife and our lives. She's joined our Toastmasters club. She comes, rolls deep. She brings her partner with her when she comes. And she's also a published author with a unique story to tell. Please help me welcome to the lectern my friend Stephanie Morris.
Stephanie's part of collection.
She also has a book.
She's not one of the authors. No.
Oh, my bad. I'll go to someone.
Belinda.
Belinda, no, I wanted to do, okay, Belinda. I was going to do Belinda after the second break, but I'm going to do her now, okay? I can introduce Belinda. You sure?
Who else?
Okay,
Tara. You do Tara if you want to.
We're going to do Belinda now, and then we'll do Tara, and then you, and then me, okay? That's how we're going to do that. I think that covers everybody, okay?
Yeah.
All right, Tara, you have your book with you?
I do.
Awesome, awesome. Come on up. See, I mean, you got a lot of directors, you know. I want to yield time for you as well, because we just met each other Tuesday, I think, right?
Yeah.
Tuesday. We just met Tuesday, and she came to our Toastmasters, and she did great. Are you a Toastmasters with us yet? ESB? I mean, ESB?
I am a Toastmasters with fellowship.
That's right, with a fellowship. I'm not going to hold it against her.
But I'm coming.
She's coming. Okay, good. So I want you to take the time that you need to please introduce yourself. Nicole gave a model, so I suspect you're going to sing first, right?
Right.
So please help me welcome to the lectern, Tara, please.
Good evening, everyone. As they said, my name is Tara Ezel. And I just want you to think for a moment, if you will. I want you to close your eyes. And when you close your eyes, I want you to see your ideal life. Close your eyes for a moment. Whether that's starting a business, writing your book, making your marriage better, developing strong relationships, or you're just doing you. See yourself there. Now open your eyes. If you were in prison for 30 years, could you still see your vision of yourself? Can you find that vision still? Some of us can and some of us can't. But I'm going to tell you about a little girl that did. A little girl, she was between the ages of 5 and 8. She was molested. When she turned 8 years old, her life was almost taken from her. When she turned 18, a man thought that he would rape her in a cornfield. For 25 years, she suffered domestic abuse. She was on the brink of suicide. She was contemplating this day in, day out. How did she survive that? She had to see her vision with her eyes shut. She saw no other way out but to see that dream of who she wanted to be. That's me. I had to dream deep within myself to bring myself out of things. I had to suffer through when no one else knew. I wore a mask. No one would ever think that Tara Ezel was suffering. But one day, after facing that homelessness and a failed marriage, God began to deal with me like he has done with most of you. And in dealing with me, I knew my ego had to die. Insecurities, doubt, dysfunction, fear. It had to die and go somewhere. I didn't care. But when you broke and you broken down and you at the bottom and you at zero, what else do you have to lean on? Okay?
Yes.
I've heard the stories of God redeeming all of us. And we all are going to have a story. But how much of it are you willing to tell?
That's right.
I'm no longer hiding behind those walls.
Woo.
I remember screaming to God, going through this because I was at the end of everything. I remember screaming and saying, God, who am I? Who are you trying to make here? I was trying to figure all this out, but I had to let this thing die here. And when I did, how many of us know about the setup I got? Let me tell you about the setup. After screaming out those words, I heard him speak some things to my soul. He spoke to my soul and said, you are an author. You are a speaker. You are an entrepreneur. I had to believe those things. Well, let me tell you the setup. I went on a blind date, and I sat down with a gentleman, and we started talking, and he said, well, what brings you here to Charlotte? Because I came here from Atlanta. I said, I want to be a speaker, an author, and an entrepreneur. I wasn't sure. This man came out of his mouth and he said, oh, I do all three of those things. And I said, really? Really? So tell me what you do. So he began to tell me. He said, I can help you. That was the beginning of my setup. God opened up all these multiple doors for me to produce a book, to meet people to get me to the next level, and to heal my soft heart of broken women. In 30 years, I compounded for you 30 days of a mental pharmacy where you can go inside and get what you need.
Yes.
Because if you're needing self-esteem, I got that. If you need a direction, I got that. If you need healing, I got that. Okay? It is in here, and that is where God has blessed me to give to you. So I stand before you in purpose, because that's where you need to stand. Because if you don't, your life will be chaos. So walk in your purpose. Woo, woo. And in these 45 seconds, I want to encourage all and each and every one of you to find the truth of your soul. And what I mean by that is you can't get to this until you get to him first.
That's right.
You gotta open up your life to prayer. That's right. You gotta be willing to hear the answers that you don't want to hear. Right. And in doing that, walk in obedience.
Yes.
Amen?
Amen.
Your power to teach?
Yes.
Your power to preach?
Yes.
Good. Thank you very much. Wait. There might be somebody that has a question for you. We leave room for one. Is there one question for Sister Tara Ezell? If you do, please ask it now. Because she's ready. Obviously, she's ready. And that's your time. So give her one more hand, please. I was going to give like a water break.
We only got one person left.
We got 3 people left.
Okay.
We got Belinda, we got you and me, okay? I can help.
Belinda and you.
You're not going to do your book?
I'll close out.
Does Lisa need to talk about her book? No? Heck yeah! We got 3 speakers left and 3 authors left. So we're going to bring up Belinda now. My wife's saying no breaks, okay? So we're going to bring up Belinda now. Belinda is easy for me to introduce. I've known her now a little over a year, I think I've known Belinda. And her story is probably like a lot of yours in some ways. One way her story may be like yours is she had her book written for 10 years before it got published. It was written for 10 years. And it hadn't been blessing people yet. It was in a drawer, not doing what it was supposed to do. There might be 1 or 2 of you guys that have written something that you know would bless somebody else if you just got it published. Her book was published a long time. Because, and she had the familiar excuses. It cost some money, I don't know how, all that stuff. But God. But God. She met my wife, and they got it published.
Amen.
They got it published. Her book is called Take Off the Mask. Now, she's going to tell you her story, but a lot of people wear masks of different kinds. When you're wearing your mask, you are not as courageous as you could be. You're not as bright as you could be with your mask, because your mask is hiding your light. Your mask is hiding your light. And as Belinda's book got published, and as we had opportunities to go, once she got published now, it was gone. She started going to events, setting up her own events. She started doing everything. Got her books in the bookstore, and she's doing it all. But once her book got published, once her light fully shined, she came fully into herself. And now she's traveling, she's doing her thing. She went from unpublished to published to big.
Yes.
I consider this person a friend of mine as well, because she's another one of those people. Whatever we're doing, she supports. And whatever she's doing, we want to support too. So I count her as a friend. So please help me to the lectern. Welcome to the lectern, my friend, Ms. Belinda Houston.
Thank you. Hollywood is who I am. I am so excited to be here. I'm so glad to see all of you. This is truly a blessing for me to be able to tell my story. I am Belinda Houston. I'm the founder of Hollywood Finance Entertainment. Hollywood Finance Entertainment is an organization that is connecting the LGBT community with the hetero community to enjoy different forms of entertainment. Well, why she got that is because I came out to my family that I'm the old live lesbian. So some of y'all can be shocked. It's okay. We are out here. And we are not going anywhere. So let's go ahead and get used to the fact that I'm a lesbian. It's just not written across my head because you would never thought that. But I am, and I'm glad to be one. Hallelujah. So, and also Hollywood Finance does different volunteer cheering for different organizations. So, you know, you want to go to that safe place and have a good time. Hollywood Finance will be able to accommodate you in those situations. So I'm also the author of Take Off the Mask. And Hollywood Finance is a part of Take Off the Mask. Not only did I take off the mask about me becoming a lesbian, I took off the mask concerning the hate that I had for my father. You know, I couldn't stand that man. You know, he irked my nerves so bad because he mistreated my mom, abuse not only to her but to us, to his children. So in my book, it's an intimate collection of poetry. So in my book, I also talks about my mom. My mom was Curlin Barber. She passed 3 years ago. I went with her to the doctor, and the doctor told her that she had no lungs. I'm sitting there, you got no lungs. You know, how, you know, am I supposed to handle? You know, my mom had no lungs, but she still lived. So as he goes on and tells, you know, there's nothing else that we can do for you, Miss Mama. You know, I say, well, what am I supposed to do? So I had this mask on because I had to hide the things that I was feeling, so I couldn't let my mama see what I was going through, what I was feeling, what I really wanted to say, because I thought for me it was crazy. So my mom said, it's okay. God ain't ready for me yet. I said, okay, but my mama lived for 6 more months. Because she was breathing God's air.
Amen.
Right? So who thank God is me.
Amen.
Because I had my mom for 6 more months, and through the times of in ICU to being in the nursing home, you know, I had that time to spend with my mom, because before that time, I had a drug addiction. So who was getting high was me. Cocaine was my favorite. who smoked up Peru was me. But nobody knew that because see, I was one of them function addicts. I went to work every day, dressed nice, kept my nails, hair done. You know, they didn't call me Hollywood for nothing. So even though I'm walking this walk, but I wasn't really living it because I had the mask on and I had to continue putting on all these masks so wouldn't nobody know. So if you didn't know me, you wouldn't know. But if you was a little close to me, you might have figured out a little bit or something. But doing all of that, you know, the church folks, they the ones that want to go against you because see, you got the Christian folks. But one thing you can't say that you're a lesbian because like back in the South, you were supposed to hear that. But then you got the preacher telling me, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, but you creeping from the pulpit. So you sleeping with one of the members in the church. Or better yet, you snorting up cocaine and smoking cocaine like I was. So how can you tell me what I can and what I can't do? You the word of God. You get it from him. So how you gonna tell me what I can and can't do? So I love being me. I've taken off my mask. So I say to everyone in here, stop, look, and listen. Take off the mask. Show your real face. Right. Show that treasure that's been buried. Show that beautiful smile and them bright eyes and them pretty teeth. Take off the mask of being angry, hate, disappointment, drugs, being used by people. Because I am set free. I've taken off all my masks. So I say to y'all, take off y'all masks and set yourself free. Amen.
Last year she could not have stood up here for 6 minutes. Authentic and full of enthusiasm. I saw your
articulate and authentic.
Articulate and authentic. Does anyone have a burning question for Sister Belinda right now? Yes, sir.
How did you take up your mask? How did you unmask yourself?
How did I unmask myself? I started admitting the things that I could not change.
Yes.
So when I started admitting to myself the things that I cannot change, God came in and stepped in and helped me. Yes. You know that song that say he saw the best in me? Everybody else around me could only see the worst in me.
That's right.
That was everybody. Everybody saw the worst in Belinda. No, Belinda can't do this. Belinda never complete a book. Belinda would never. But Belinda had news for me. Because I had God on my side. When I finally accepted him to come in to make the changes for me, I don't have them friends no more. Thank you, God. I don't have them no more. They, oh, you talk about your book too much. Or you got this book. That's good, because I got to worry about giving them none of my money and getting no cocaine. So now I have some new friends. That's right. My money to get high. You know, that's the biggest thing about it is that I'm able to share this. And my family, they don't come support me. But it's okay. Ask me, do I care?
Give Belinda one more hand, please.
But I have my partner here.
All right.
She's been there.
She'll start preaching again if you let her.
Okay.
Thank you, Belinda. Alright, we're about to wrap up. We got 2 more to go. And I'm going to be quick. I'm not going to take a full 6 minutes. I'm going to be quick. But I do appreciate these stories. Introducing myself to Nicole and Miss Tara Ezell. And I love these stories. Thank you, Atisia. Thank you very much, all of you guys, for sharing. Is there someone already in here now that is not yet an author, but since you've been here has decided that you want to be? No one? Anyone? You? Anyone? Okay, good. Good. Good job. All right, real quick. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, and I went to the Army. And when I got out of the Army, I went into sales. I went into retail right away. And then I met a young lady while I was in the Army, and I married her. So we both was in low-level management. We both was in low. I was a front desk supervisor at the Courtyard by Marriott Hotel, and she was an assistant store manager at a women's clothing store. Young couple, low-level management. And one day, my wife showed up at the job, and she never shows up at my job, and said, "Brian, you're pregnant." And I was so happy. I was so happy we got a child coming. But then after I realized I was happy, I realized, oh my gosh, between the two of us, we barely make it ends meet now. How are we going to afford a baby? So I need to earn more money. Now, in the time I was at the hotel, every week salespeople come in, they fly in, they stay there for a few days and gone. They kept telling me, "Brian, you'd be great in sales, you'd be great in sales, you'd be great in sales." So at the time I said, okay, let me give sales a try. I didn't really understand it. I looked in the newspaper and saw a bunch of sales jobs. A bunch of them. They're always looking for salespeople. So I went to start going, setting them up, going there, just checking them out, just to see. And I only looked really for entry-level sales. That's what I was. I was 23. I was looking for entry-level sales. And I went to one interview, and this guy did a presentation on me during the interview. He sold me on the product. It was a home improvement company. And I was like, God, I wanted to buy what he was selling, even though I was living in an apartment. So if it's that easy, I could do it. And he hired me, and it was a straight commission sales job. How many people know what a straight commission sales job is? Now, I was very confident in myself. I wasn't smart enough to be afraid of it. I knew I had a baby coming, and I had a wife, and I had a rent, and we had 2 cars. So I felt like if this guy could do it, if anybody could do it, I was 23 years old, full of bluster, full of myself. I knew I could get it done. So they hired me, and they trained me on how to measure a house and how to price out a house. They trained me on how to do all the technical stuff, but they didn't teach me how to sell. The training program consisted of, hang in there, you'll get it. And I was horrible at it for 8 months. They had a leaderboard. Every single month, the top salesperson's name was on the top with 15 salespeople. Second place was in second, third place, and on the bottom was always B. McNeil. It was either all the way at the bottom or second to the bottom. And they didn't even talk to the people on the bottom. They didn't even talk to us. I couldn't even speak in the meetings. We had a sales meeting every day, Monday through Friday, and whoever made a sale the day before got a chance to tell how great they was in the meeting. And if you didn't sell the day before, you couldn't say nothing. You just had to be there. So I hardly ever got a chance to talk. And I did not like these men. These men were unscrupulous. I grew up Christian. I would abhor the thought of selling anything to anybody that they didn't want. I couldn't do that. And these guys would make jokes about, ha, 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 that lady don't even know what she bought. Ha, 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 ha. I was like, that's disgusting. That was disgusting to me. And these guys were making a lot of money. This is back in the mid-90s. Every Friday we got our paychecks in the meeting. And they did it publicly. We had a big circle, big table. Here's how they did it. Here's a man with a check over $1,000. There's another man with a check over $1,000. Here's another man with a check over $1,000. So if your check was less than $1,000, you weren't good. They wanted to make at least $1,000 a week. Straight commission, that was the job. So, and they would just go around the table, all 15 guys. And that was public. If your check was less than $1,000, you suck. You know, and I sat through that. I didn't like any of them because I didn't think any of them were honest men. They was just yanking people, just doing anything. They would trick them into mind. I was never going to do that. But I was getting my butt kicked every day by life. They would set up your appointments for you. Typically, you get like 2 or 3 appointments a day. So one would be at 11 o'clock, next one might be at 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. So you had time. So there was this one, for 8 months, I was horrible at it. For 8 months. I kept trying to quit. I kept telling him, I don't want to do this anymore. And he goes, No, Brian, you need to hang in there, hang in here. What it was there was advance sending money. And I was owing the company more and more money to keep it. So, and it got significant. So if I had quit the company, that means they'd been left holding the bag. They wanted to keep me on to try to recoup some of the money they had been advancing me. So I didn't know that at the time. So I stayed in the game. But I'll never forget the day that changed my life. It was a hot day in August. And I was in Wake Forest, North Carolina. I lived in Raleigh. So that's 40 minutes away, 35, 40 minutes away. My first appointment at 11 o'clock, it blew out. They weren't home. So now my next one was at 5. So now I got 6 hours to kill. In another city, I had $5 in my pocket. It was one of my lunch money that day. And I didn't have enough gas to drive all the way back to Raleigh to chill out at my house and then come back to Wake Forest for my next appointment. So I had to stay there. And by providence, I ended up in a used bookstore because of the AC. And by accident, I discovered a book called How to Master the Art of Selling by Tom Hopkins. Tom Hopkins' picture was on the cover of the book. The book sold for $5, and I had $5, but there was tax on it too. And I didn't have the money for the tax. And I said to the guy, I said, look, I really want this book, but I've only got the $5. And he said, no problem, take the book. So that book became my first sales manager. So what I would do is I'd pull into the shade some places and I started turning the pages and reading the book. And I was so green and grown, whatever the book said do, I would just do it. You know, I ain't know enough to question it. So I started reading the book, and as I turned pages, I got a little bit better at my game. So I finished that book, and then I picked up another book on sales. Zig Ziglar's Secrets of Closing the Sales. So I started turning pages of that book, and I got a little bit better at my game. Then our third book was The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino, and that book changed my life because it was Christian-based, you know, and it had principles. It didn't teach you nuts and bolts of how to sell, but it taught me how to get my mind right, to serve, to help people with what I do. So I finished that book, and then I just picked up another and another and another, and one page at a time, but by my own count, I read more than 700 books on how to sell. And I know that's a conservative estimate, because that's not factoring all the tapes I listened to as I was driving, all the CDs I listened to as I was driving, all the seminars I went to, all that stuff, all the books I read more than one time, all the CDs I listened to again and again and again. So I know that's a very, very conservative estimate. But with all that being said, the book I wish I had read in the beginning was this one, The Shortcut. The fastest route to selling your services better than you ever have before, so that you can earn more money than ever before. I wrote this book. This is my first baby. This book is only 74 pages long. A lot of cake, very little frosting. Just do what it says do and you will sell better too. This book teaches you what to do when you don't have a client in front of you. Authors, you guys offer, you're a speaker, you offer services, intangible services, because they don't have anything tangible other than what they get when you're there. This book will help you do it better, especially if you want to accumulate clients. I think that's what this book is for anyone that wants to accumulate clients. But it doesn't cover closing sales. And this book does, Asking for the Money, 94 pages. Now this book is longer than the first one, but this is only about the closing portion. How to have confidence when you close. Nuts and bolts of what to do when you have to ask for the money. I wrote Asking for the Money, how anyone can close more sales, even you. I think this book is particularly designed for the people who don't feel like they know how to overcome objections. This book will help you. And I'm very proud of my children's book, Why Rhinos Make Great Salespeople. This is a story I've been telling more than 20 years. There's a book written in 1980 by a guy named Scott Alexander called Rhinoceros Success. And in that book, he parallels rhinos to cows. A cow can stay in the same pasture its whole life. And as long as it's got enough food to eat, water to drink, never even wonder what's over the hill. They'll be happy right there. Enough food, enough water. Rhinos are not that way. Rhinos have to charge at stuff. They have to be peripatetic. They have to move around. They have to stamp out fires. That's what rhinos do. You read parallels. Rhinos, when they wake up in the morning, they brush their horns and they charge out of the house. Okay? And it meant something to me. I saw a National Geographic show about rhinos and I learned some things. Like some places on their body, the skin is 2 inches thick. If you're a great salesperson, you can't take things personally. Rhinos are physically strong, which I equate to being determined. Rhinos have great hearing, which I equate to being great listeners. Rhinos have horrible eyesight, which I equated to not even noticing little things that can get in the way. They just don't even see it. Little trees, little bush, they can't see that. They just go right to it. But the last two things about the rhino, to me, are the coolest things. One is when they have the two horns, a little horn and a big horn. Any direction the rhino looks, they have to see past their horns. I look at that little horn as their little goal that leads to their big goal. So they always are looking past their goals. Everything they see has to go through the filter of your own goals. And the last thing is the way a rhino's legs work. A rhino is physically unable to walk backwards. They can't do it. They can stop. They can turn around. But they don't back up. Their bodies don't work that way. Wow. So if you go after your goal the way a rhino would go after its goal, the only physical option you have is to continue going forward until you reach your objective. Because backing up is not even a physical option you have. And I wrote this book in children's book format. And I love this book because we even had a 16-year-old illustrate it for us. So we're really, really happy about this book. So I give this book away more than I sell it to schools. But anyway, those are my books, and Brian keeps me there. Thank you. Does anyone have a question for me before I introduce Lisa? Okay. Thank you. Did you say something before I introduce you? Okay. But Lisa's here, and Lisa really is the reason that every single other person is in this room right now. Every single person in this room right now is here in some way because of Lisa's energy. She attracted you here in some kind of way. She's the reason I'm here today. It was so easy to chill out at the house. But I want to be where she is. Because where she is, good things happen. Praise God. I don't know what she's going to talk about today, but I do know whatever she talks about is going to come from her heart. I do know it's going to be dynamic. And I do know that somebody in this room is going to get an answer to some question because of whatever she brings forth right now. She's my best friend. She works hard for her clients. I love her, and I'm happy that you do too. And she's my wife.
I just want to say something to them about you.
Okay.
I do have a natural affinity and a natural attraction to heart-centered individuals. That's why all of you are here. Because those that are operating in the spirit, that are operating in the ministry of finding a purpose for their pain are naturally drawn to me. All the way back to this one right here, I'm waiting for your book. I've had this one since she was 9 years old. But one of the things that hurt me for a lot of years is that yes, we might find the purpose for our pain, but a lot of us had to put our purpose for our pain onto a part-time plate. The purpose for your pain on a part-time plate. And you know why? Because you weren't making any money with your purpose. Because your hearts were so filled with serving that you forgot that God said that the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just, but he also said that a workman need not be ashamed. He also said that you were worthy of your hire, right? So when I first met my husband, first of all, I wasn't really excited about him. He was a salesman. And I equated him to all of the salesmen that many of us may already know, even the one he talked about in his own story, right? Salespeople will sell you stuff that you don't need and give you stuff that you don't need. But then I got to know him, and that wasn't who he was at all. He is actually the yin to my yang. He is actually the one that has taught me how to bring ministry to marketplace. Because it is important in order to sustain the gifts that God has given you, to give To get financial remuneration from your pain so that you can bless the kingdom, you need to be able to sustain it.
Yeah.
And in order to sustain it, you need to know how to sell it. You know why you need to know how to sell it? Not so you can make money with it. So that when you give it away, you can still keep a roof over your house. Right?
That's right.
That's really why. That's really why. Because as much as I receive, I give away double, triple, quadruple. But because I've learned how to also earn, ask for the money, which was like, never want to ask for money. God bless me with this, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. And I need to give it away freely. But I do give it away freely. But I also give it away with value. I allow you the honor of providing yourself with what it is that I have through your exchange of value. And I want that for each of you. I want you all to understand this. So amongst all of the books that are here, I'm going to talk about everybody, but for just 1 second, I wanted you to lift the veil. We are spiritual and supernatural and amazing, but we live on the terrestrial. And we need to be able to cross those spheres so that we can live here in abundance. In abundance, in abundance. So get one, if not all, of these books and make them into a study manual. Because your gift is intended to make room for you and place you before great men. Place you before great men. What kind of influence can you have if you're in front of the king? The king don't want no paupers in his kingdom. That's my third.
Thank you very much.
Give yourselves another game. In all honesty, the books that I have written already are not as important as the book that is being written right now. God has released abundant rain from each and every one of you. He shows me the greatness that's in this room, and just like your pain has brought you purpose, my pain is bringing me now to another level of purpose, right? Another level. Because I've been a coach for a lot of years. Like I said, she was 9, she's 28 now, 27? 26. She's old, right? I've been coaching for a long time. But it's time now for me to take the coaches that I have now coached to the next level. I'm not coaching no more 26-year-olds. I'm not coaching no more 9-year-olds, no more 15-year-olds, no more 17-year-olds. I am operating in the midst of greatness. Women that have gone through great things. Terrible, tremendous, but great because it birthed you, Tara. Right? Women that have overcome places that people thought would destroy them. Women that have overshot where they ever thought they would be. Women that have now stepped out into the miraculous space that they are precariously perched upon, wondering what to do next with all of this information. And as I coach them, I see the problems. I see the problems. That's what coaching does. Coaching is allowing you to be a little bit higher, a little bit apart. Not higher, not as in greater, higher as in separate from the situation. I'm not in your situation, so I don't feel your pain directly, but I can see everything that's going on and I can direct you and guide you. But then I need to understand where to direct you. And for a while, I could only direct you as far as I had been. So that was why the people who came before me were trying to become authors. Then I became an author, and then I brought Rich back, pull through, get you to be an author, right? So now you're an author. Then I teach them, you can sell 500 books, it's not going to pay your rent. So now you got to figure out what to do with your position as an author. Your position as an author is to position you to make money in other areas. It is to identify you as the subject matter expert in your pain so that you can then, Paul, reach back and grab somebody who's in that situation you were in that has cancer right now, doesn't know how to get out, that's in an unfortunate marriage that needs to get out, that is trying to heal and release themselves from a marriage that they need to get divorced from. I know that story, that's one of mine, amen. And you now have the ability to save them some time, energy, and effort with your story. And now you need a platform to let them know where you are. Because that's the biggest problem, right? Right now, everyone says, well, I have all these things, I know all of these things. How do I now expose myself to other people? And that's what we just did here. We just did here. This is the first level of your exposure. You are on a live audience. That live broadcast will now be uploaded to a permanent location where people can pull and see and feel and hear who you are. Snippets from that video can now be converted into your personal electronic press kit so that people will know what your story is. Oh, I need this girl to come out and talk to my people because my people need what she has. You need to get marketing material so that you can be expressed in the universe as professionally as possible so that people can see this is the one that I need to usher me out of where I am. This is my Moses. This is my Jonathan. This is my Caleb. This is who I need to take me from point A to point B. Now, for a lot of years, I've been in the pulpit, so I apologize if you got a problem with the scriptural references and all of that. It is where I was nurtured. But much like my sister Oticia, God said, I did not call you to the church. I got enough people in there. I called you out from among them so that you can draw men unto me. Right. He also did not indicate for me to be in a church, preaching to a church. He intended for me to be in a church, which is external like this, preaching to the preachers, because each and every one of you who has a story needs to get out there to evangelize your message and equip you for that season for such a time as this. Your message needs to be heard. You don't need to be in the Sunday morning. The people in the building on Sunday morning don't want no more than they're getting. They know where Jesus at. They know where he lived. They can recite scripture. They know all of that. The Sunday morning Christians, God bless them, they are good. But you are called to the women's shelter. You are called to the ICU. You are called to the girls that are struggling with their direction. You are called to help those that don't understand their special brand of crazy. Just for the record. I'm not crazy. But if you want to talk to me about my story, I'll be here. Now I gotta get my 6 minutes. That just wasn't it. But that wasn't it. You're gonna sign up for the next one to tell your story. Understand that your situation was not even for you. It was not even for you. Sorry. It was not. It was your Jeremiah 1:5 experience. It was your purpose that God assigned to you. It was your boot camp that prepared you for your Jeremiah 29:11 life. The plan that He had for you. Right? I need you to get that. I want to see you greater. This is where I want you to be, to get infused with the power to get out there. Yeah. And He said, go and compel them. Then send them to somebody's church. You don't have to keep them. Right? Send them to somebody's 11 o'clock service. Partner with the ministry. Huh? Partner with the ministry that is feeding people. But you're not the feeders. Your purpose is to get out there and to show people that real people, regular people, can become great people. That people who have been through something are not the castaways, they are the called and the chosen. Your pain was to fit your purpose. And the book that God is birthing in me right now, yes, discovering your why is important because that's what Unbreakable had to find out. Unbreakable D had to find out her why. Yep. Why did He freaking leave me? I'm a good woman. I travel with this behind all the way around the country. And then He says, oh, no, not so much. She had to discover why God allowed her to go through that. And I wrote that book. I wrote that book. And I'm thankful that there are people that are discovering their why and finding out. I understand that, Tara, you had to be crushed down when you were a child. Molested and left aside. The tiniest little acorn was crushed in the earth, dark, alone, and segregated from everything and everybody, and didn't understand why, in the midst of it, things that were beautiful, like the beautiful pine cones, were just thriving upon the top of the earth, and it was crushed. And it took a mentor to explain to that tiny acorn that if you had not been through these conditions, you would never become a mighty oak tree. Because apart from the crushing, there is no growth. And you will be forever known as the tree that would never be. But because you survived that situation, because you lived through that condition, and you realize whether consciously or unconsciously that your current condition was not your conclusion, you persevered, you moved forward, and now you have something to teach someone else. And in the book that God is birthing in me, Permission to Be Amazing Granted, it's specifically teaching beautiful, wonderful people with these crushing and amazing stories of growth and development that even as big as you think you are right now, God wants you to be big. I'm glad you're a published author. I'm glad you are a best-selling author. I'm glad your books are in bookstores. But I won't be happy and I won't be satisfied until everybody knows your name. Until somebody who is waiting for your special brand of purpose to show up to give them the hope for what they needed for a brighter future. And only you can do that. And that's what Permission to Be Amazing Granted is. Permission to Be Amazing Granted is saying, this is big, this is great, I'm glad I'm at the front of the room, but I'm supposed to be at the top of the world. You belong to Him, and He's always higher than you. I want to partner with you. No, I'm blessed that you are where you are. I'm honored that you have some published, some written, some on the way, some all of those things. But my goal is not just that. My goal is the next level, the next dimension for you. It's not for everyone. I specialize specifically in stories of overcoming, self-help, and children's books. Because those have the message of hope that God has given to me. Now, does that mean you have to have Jesus riddled up in your book? No. Some people ain't going to read it if you got Jesus riddled up in your book. You have to have authenticity in it. You have to have your real honest situation in it. You can call Him Jesus, you can call Him God, you can call Him Spirit, you can call Him an angel, you can call Him whatever you want. But the most important thing is that you call Him. And I want to see you walking in your greatness because you're called to greatness. If I can work with you, if I can help you anywhere with the logistics of navigating what that looks like, reach out to me. I love you and I wish you only good success.
A lot of you guys have been here since the beginning, and a lot of you guys have seen a lot of this. Is there anyone here that found value in their time here today that they're willing to share with the room? That they're willing to share. What value did you find of being here today? What did you enjoy? What meant something to you? Yes, ma'am.
I am one of Lisa's upcoming authors, and so I came today in the purpose of hearing what I heard today, and thank you all for just that opportunity. Thank you for being so obedient. Thank you, Brian, for always lifting her up. What I really gained today, several times I just wanted to get up and leave and go home and just write some more. I kept saying, no, you gotta stay to the end, you gotta stay to the end. But it was more of a, yes, you can do this. And I don't know if that was your main purpose in people coming today, but God knows that. I could hear in my ears, yes, you can do this. You can do this. So thank you. And thank you all.
Thank you. Yes, Sister Kyra, what you got?
So,
really sure of what today's going to bring, but I too am one of the authors that is coming up in her collection. And I found myself in everybody's story.
Wow.
And in writing my piece, it's been like such a, I wouldn't say writer's block, but kind of like almost not afraid, but just kind of cautious about what to share. And just from listening to all of you, it was so encouraging just to hear you pour your heart and tell your story. And it's just encouraged me to tell my story.
Amen. Yes, ma'am.
I just felt so blessed and inspired to be among people that, I feel like I am reminded of my higher self by seeing your higher self.
Amen.
And it keeps me on point because I'm also working on a second book with Lisa, and and I get those days where I get discouraged. I get those days I get scared. I get those days where like, oh, when's this, is there an end? And it just reminds me it's not about me. It's not about me. It's like they my life. It's not about me. So thank you for that. I'm gonna just hold all these and did you take them?
Yes.
Okay. Because I just want to be like, remind me again of the truth. When I grow weary, remind me again of the truth. And I am committed to my trust. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Sister Nicole, my new friend. I love your talk.
I just want to say, first of all, for all y'all didn't know, I came across Miss Lisa like 3 different times. And I keep saying, I know that God is placing me in her life for a reason. Because the first time, when I was in the gift in December, and they was videotaping everybody in the cast, and I never got a chance to videotape, but I remember just going back and just helping clean up. Then I came across again at a church that I'm in, and she came to visit. She said, that poem was good. You want to publish her? And then I went for a woman's empowerment in her. So that's the confirmation for me to know that I'm supposed to be here. And the confirmation is that I too found myself in every story. And it's a confirmation to me that says God had already told me to come ye from out those 4 walls of the church and go into the world. But to hear Miss Lisa Santiago speak it, then to feel, when I say, like if I was in church, to feel that every author that came up, the spirit, it was confirmation and conform. And when I say that it just was all on one accord. Because it was like we all flowed. Even when I sat up and I saw your sign said, dare to be different. And I was like, when I get up, what I'm going to say? Because I spoke to her about that mind, how I was always like this. So I thank God on today for meeting Miss Lisa Santiago McNeil. I thank you, Mr. McNeil. I thank all the authors that came before me. And I see greater things. And God bless you too for all that you're doing for me.
Thank you. God bless you. Yes, ma'am. Oh.
Yeah, I will say something.
Yes, ma'am, please.
I have enjoyed the journey with the both of you, Mom and Pops. The unity that I have experienced, the camaraderie, has been the blessing that I have found in this group, and then meeting people over the last several months. It's probably been about 7 months, I think, that I've met you guys. But the camaraderie has been incredible. The support. That was one thing that I really look for, because I've been alone in my journey, though I've prevailed and succeeded in lots of things. But coming into this place where my voice is being released through, literary art, God connected me with you guys, but then seeing the host of witnesses and these warriors, for truth, you know, I've been blessed, and I just want to thank you for that.
Thank you. We got two more. Let's go with Sis up here.
I'm not crazy.
We heard that.
But I wanted to say that it is very nice to be in a room full of people that come from the same tribe, that have the same destinations, that have the same morals and values, and have the same idea of self. That there's something out there that may not make sense right now, right? But at the end of it, I know that it'll come to pass. It's nice to be around warriors and healers and teachers and mothers and fathers and aunts and uncles that come from the same tribe of life. So I appreciate all of that.
None of us in this room will ever be the same because of this experience. We'll all be better because of this moment. Yes, Linda.
You know, I thank Lisa. I had a publisher before Lisa. And, you know, he left me in the box because I didn't know what to do next. So when I met Lisa, we was getting some flyers and stuff done, and I was telling her about me, and she said, well, you know, you need to send me your book. I don't pay this man this money, I got no money to pay no Lisa, you know. But she kept asking me for my book, and I truly thank God for her because she said to me, I'll help you get out there, but you're going to have to do the work too. I'm going to have to see in you that you are willing to do the work before I continue. That's all she had to say to me. I done had a book, I done got the book signed ready, I done went out there and I got me. So when I was able to come back to her and say, I got this event going on right here, I got this event going on, the more I told her I had, the more she pulled back into me. And I thank God for that. Lisa, you are amazing. I love you.
Thank God. The church after the church is the best part of the church. People remember the testimony, they don't remember the sermon.
Encourage you to purchase food or whatever because they allow us to assemble here and they welcome us here for free. So we want to continue to be welcome to come back. So
you don't have to.
You don't have to.
But if you're willing to, and you have some cash, just give it to us. And if you don't, we'll cover it ourselves. But we want to give you the opportunity to do that.
To bless the server. Yes. I have to come in and straighten this all back out.
Because we moved without learning today.
Yeah. We turned this into a whole other place.
And Lisa and myself. Okay, did you get the picture of the circle? We'll do it quickly, please, so we can get because I want this thing completely connected. Okay, if you choose to get in the circle, completely connected. Thank you all for coming here. I mean, if just one of you guys had not been here today, we would not have had this many people. So thank you all for coming. After all that's been said and done, if there is one in this circle, and it could be you, but if there's one in this circle that feels particularly compelled to close out this event in prayer, if that's you, go ahead and do it now.
Father God, in the name of Jesus, we just come before you one more time, just thanking you truly for who you are, God. Thanking you for who we are in you, oh Father God. So as we close out this meeting, God, we just thank you for the opportunity, God. We thank you for the purpose that was already birthed in us, oh Father God, because you know every hair on our head, Father God.
Yes.
So we thank you for each and every person that attended, oh Father God. We thanking you for their families. We thanking you that they could have been anywhere else, but they chose to be here on tonight, Father God. It is your divine connection, oh God, that each and every one of us have met on tonight, oh Father God. And that we were transparent, oh Father God, to pour out our stories, oh Father God. That we can heal one another, oh Father God. That we can have a hope and a future, Father God. So we're thanking you for that on tonight, God. We thank you for the host and the hostess of this event on tonight, God. Pour back into them as they pour back out into us, oh God. Bless their home, oh Father God. Give them the desires of their heart, oh Father God. We just thank you for their lives right now, God, that they walk in obedience, oh Father God. And God, as we leave this place but not your presence, oh Father God, we ask that you continue to order our steps, oh Father God. Order our steps, oh God. And so that you can get all the glory, oh Father God. We give it all to you, oh God. So we thank you for this night. amen.
I'm gonna be bad. What's that called? What? I don't know. Something with chocolate.
Yes, wow is right.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I didn't want to put it up yet. I want to leave it up just for a second. I need to take over I loved your voice and your poetry. It was so powerful.